Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to share with y'all some of my favorite restorative yoga poses. Restorative yoga is a very gentle, very supported style of yoga that is wonderful for winding down after a hard day or a long day, or if you just kind of need to take a pause, bring the energy down, kind of get centered, get calm, or get ready for bed. So for restorative yoga, we use a lot of props, usually 2 blocks, a bolster, and a couple of blankets. And we can modify always. If you and I are doing a Zoom class together and we're doing restorative, I might tell you to just go grab everything off the bed and we'll figure it out with pillows and comforters and stuff. Couch cushions are great, kind of whatever you have around. I'm not gonna focus too much on all the modifications today. We can always get into that on our own if we need to, but I will be using a bolster, a couple of blocks, and a blanket. Before we start any practice, I like to take just a few moments to kind of get centered and get present right here, just in the body with our breath. I invite you to close your eyes, have a big deep breath in through the nose. Imagine filling up, creating a little space between each vertebrae, sitting up nice and tall, all the way up to the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, imagine scanning back down the body, looking for any areas of tightness and kind of softening or melting, including the scalp, the forehead, corners of the eyes, the jaw, the neck, shoulders, all the way down the back to the seat. And whenever you're ready, feel free to open the eyes and we'll get started. This is a reclined butterfly. We are supporting the upper body with a prop stack, which we will be building from 2 blocks and a bolster. I am going to take my first block onto its medium height, and I'm going to take my second block onto its highest height. And I'm going to lay my bolster down on top of the blocks with the bottom end of the bolster either touching the ground or very close to the ground. I want to make sure that I have support under the head and under the back. So I usually leave a little bit of a gap in between my blocks just to kind of get a little more length there out of that shape. I'm going to sit up against my bolster with the feet on the floor and the knees bent, and I'm going to take 2 blankets, one on each side, and I may even give a double fold. This is another great place for like throw pillows or something like that if you have them. But I'm going to take one onto each side of the legs, the left side and right side. I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor and slowly roll down onto my prop stack, making sure that the back of the head is supported and is not hanging off the back of the props. And then slowly I'm going to bring the feet together and let the knees open wide, kind of adjusting my pillow or my blankets to give some good support to the knees so there's not a lot of weight hanging on the knees. If you want a deeper opening in the hips, maybe slide the prop supports out or make them a little bit thinner, and that'll give more room for the legs to come down. Roll the shoulders down, maybe turn the hands palms up, let the elbows hang with a little bend. Feel free to close the eyes, feel for lengthening up the back of the neck, have a big breath in. And on the exhale, imagine getting a little heavier, a little softer. Have a big full breath in, maybe start to wiggle the fingers. Turn the palms down, reach the arms down away from the shoulders, away from the ears. I'm going to take the hands to the legs. I'm going to gently close the knees. I'm going to move my pillow or my blanket out of the way. I'm going to bring my arm down to the floor, roll onto my side, coming off of all of my props. And I'm going to take a side lying position for just a few moments, letting everything settle, maybe resting my ear on my arm. And whenever you're ready, gently pressing yourself up into a seat. Since we've already got our prop stack set up, let's do a few more restorative yoga poses with this prop stack so we don't have to move it too much. I'm going to start with my left hip right up against the edge of the stack. So my left leg is on the floor, parallel to my stack, and I'm going to bring that right leg back until the thigh touches the left foot. So you can start with the knees stacked and then bring that top leg, that right leg back and down. I'm going to bring my hands to the floor on either side of the stack, press into the hands. I imagine lengthening from the right knee to the belly button all the way up through the crown of the head. Big deep stretch here. And on the exhale, I might even look back over that left shoulder, bringing the stretch all the way up the right side of the neck. Soften in the belly. One more big breath in, and on the exhale, I'm going to lay down, taking the right ear to the bolster, unless that feels uncomfortable for the neck, in which case you can take the left ear. We just want to make sure that we get both sides. So I'm going to take my right ear to the bolster, and I'm going to thread my hands in between my blocks. Softening in the lower back, letting that top right hip get nice and heavy. Trying to take as much pressure or weight out of the shoulders or elbows as I can. Staying soft in the jaw. Slowly unthread the arms, bringing your hands down to the floor on either side of the prop stack and drawing the palms back until they're about under the shoulders. Slowly start to press your upper body up off of your props. Bring the neck neutral. Maybe just have another moment here in this deep stretch. And on the exhale, bring the upper body forward. When you're in a home practice, you have a lot of options here. You can move your prop stack to the other side, or you can turn and just bring your right leg to the props. I will show you this from both sides so you guys can see both angles. So I'm going to bring my right hip even to the edge of my prop stack. I'm going to stack the knees, and then I'm going to bring that left leg, that top leg, back until my left foot, or my left thigh is touching my right foot. And then I'm going to bring both hands down to the floor. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in, and I'll look back over the right shoulder this time for a deep twist. Bringing that stretch all the way up the left side of the neck, softening in the lower belly. One more big breath in, and on the exhale, I'm going to lay the upper body down with the left ear on the bolster, or if I took the left ear to the bolster last time, I'll do the right ear, and I'm going to thread my arms in between the blocks to take weight out of the shoulders and arms. Feel free to close the eyes and then just breathe here. Softening in that top left hip. Let the left hip get heavy. Let the lower back soften. Deep supported spinal twist. Slowly start to unthread the hands. Bring the palms down to the floor and draw the hands back until they're about under the shoulders. Slowly press yourself up. We're going to take the neck neutral. That means looking forward. Maybe pause here for another breath or two, enjoying this deep twist. And on an exhale, come forward, which would mean body facing in the same direction as the knees. Another one that I like with the props in this shape, it's just easy that we don't have to move them around too much, would be a restorative tree pose. So I'm going to turn the other way and the lower body is actually going to be elevated on the props. And one more time, I'm going to use either a blanket or like a throw pillow or something like that. If you have a blanket, you can fold it up a couple of times and make it pretty thick if you need it thick or whatever. So I'm going to start with sitting on the right side of my bolster, feet on the floor, knees bent. I have both knees on the right side of my bolster, hips right up against the bottom of the bolster. I've got my blanket on my right side. I'm going to bring the hands to the floor and I'm going to roll slowly down onto my back. I'm going to bring the left leg up onto the bolster and I'm going to let the right knee fall open to the right, coming down onto some kind of support, either a pillow or a blanket. If that left leg wants to roll open to the left, that's fine, as long as the prop stack is stable. And I'm going to take my arms out, palms up, roll the shoulders down away from the ears, keep the neck neutral, so I'm facing up, but I'm just going to close the eyes. Let the right hip open, let the left leg enjoy a nice, gentle, supported inversion. Have a big breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to bring the right hand to the right leg. I'm going to help bring that right foot to the floor. I'm going to bring my left foot to the floor on the left side of the bolster, and I'm going to kind of shimmy the hips over to the left. I'm going to take my support over to the left side. And I'm going to switch sides, letting the right leg come up onto my prop stack. And let the left leg open to the left, finding support at any height that you need. If that right leg kind of rolls open to the right, that's fine as long as the prop stack stays stable. I'm going to take the arms out, palms up, shimmy the shoulders down away from the ears. Have a big deep breath in. Hands sink a little heavier, a little softer down into your props. Have a deep breath in and breathe all the way out. You might start to wiggle the fingers. Bring that left hand to the left leg. Gently bring the left foot down to the floor. Bring the right foot to the floor. I'm going to shimmy back over to the right side and roll onto a side lying position for just a moment, letting everything settle. And whenever you're ready, slowly, gently pressing your way back up, upright into any kind of seated shape that feels good. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me for a couple of my favorite restorative yoga poses. If you're interested in learning more about restorative yoga or taking a restorative yoga class with me, please feel free to comment or send me an email. I did a restorative and subtle body yoga training with Tamika Kasten-Miller with Ashe Yoga. She teaches unbelievable restorative yoga and yoga nidra and does lots of really cool workshops at the Ranch Houston. If you have not checked out that studio and that space, it's a beautiful community garden space, beautiful studio. I absolutely highly recommend it. I will link her information below as well. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Thank you.